We are kicking off a 4-part series, The Road to Super Bowl 52. Why? Because the Super Bowl is in 28 days, folks, and it's here in Minneapolis. And who better to kick off this special series with us but the CEO of the Super Bowl Host Committee, no stranger to our show, Maureen Bausch. Hi, Maureen.
Hello.
Thank you for coming in studio on this first Sunday of 2018.
Oh, on this beautiful warm day, you couldn't.
I know. I mean, doesn't it feel balmy? I thought when my car was reading 21, 22 degrees, I thought I was, kind of going crazy. Like, we haven't seen those numbers in a while.
I know. It actually feels warm, doesn't it?
It does feel warm. All right. How warm is your heart right now with 28 days till Super Bowl?
Oh, well, you know what? We're training, as we speak, we're training another large group of volunteers over at the Volunteer Center. And there is nothing more warming than those volunteers. They are absolutely amazing. And whenever I see a group of them, it makes my day.
And this is Crew 52 we're talking about?
Crew 52, 10,000.
Our very own Susie Jones is part of Crew 52. Tell us some of the places we'll see this Crew 52.
Hopefully you'll see them all over town. From the first time, if you're a visitor, you'll see them at the airports when you land, both the private and the international airport. You'll see them in the Skyways. You'll see them at Mall of America. You'll see them in St. Paul. You'll see them all over downtown Minneapolis. And they are there to assist in the hotel lobbies.
So, it was tough becoming a Crew 52 member. I mean, there was a whole audition, interview process. Why were you so rigorous with that?
What we noticed in Houston, and they had wonderful people being volunteers. They were extremely helpful. But they didn't encourage you to come back to Houston. And we are really trying to use this Super Bowl to promote Minnesota and to encourage people to come back during every season we have, not only next winter, but in the summer and the beautiful fall, et cetera. So we kind of wanted people that knew about Minnesota who were very enthusiastic. And so we were lucky. We had 30,000 people apply. 15,000 came in for interviews.
That is amazing.
And we had very few drop-offs.
And that says a lot about the people of Minnesota, right? Their desire to volunteer, their desire to be ambassadors for our state.
Oh, it totally says everything about the Minnesota nice culture, doesn't it?
Let's go back to when, this was a dream. Super Bowl 52 was a dream of yours, of a lot of people here. How crazy is it that we're 28 days away? I mean, give us some of that insight from your perspective.
It doesn't even seem like it's taken 3 years. The time has flown by. But to see Bold North come to life, to see it in the stores, Cub has a beautiful Bold North tailgate area, and you see the Super Bowl merchandise in Target, and it's really makes it real. And a lot of our ideas, a lot of the things we had hoped would be part of the Super Bowl are. And, you throw a lot of ideas against the wall that just don't come to fruition. But I would bet at least 80% of the things that we wanted to do are coming to life.
What were some of the zaniest of those ideas, would you say? Were there zany ones?
Zip lining across the Mississippi was...
And that's happening?
One of them was, could it happen? Having Levi LaValle do huge jumps on Polaris snowmobiles in Nicollet
That's
Mall.
going to be exciting.
That was a little zany. We have the wonderful new owners of the Dayton's Project have allowed us to open up the first floor, and we have filled it with some fabulous sponsor activations and an NFL store and a green room and the Hallmark Network, and it's pretty cool. CNN.
Everybody, Maureen, I'm talking with Maureen Bausch, the CEO of the Super Bowl Host Committee. 28 days away, folks. February 4th is the big day, but there will be 10 days worth of activities leading up to that, and so much more. Everyone is getting into Super Bowl fever. In my latest AAA magazine, there's even a nice little AAA's Guide to Surviving the Super Bowl. And in this, they shared some statistics, which I'm sure Maureen knows, but I want to share with everyone out there. Minneapolis is forecasted to host more than 1 million visitors. We've heard that from 130 countries, thousands of members of the media representing more than 150 worldwide broadcast networks, and the visitors will occupy about 41,000 hotel rooms, rent houses, Airbnb, that kind of thing. When you hear that, more than 150 worldwide broadcast outlets, Maureen, will be on site covering this, broadcasting images, sound bites, quotes from you, from others connected to Super Bowl 52. What are your thoughts?
Well, we're thrilled because we've had a wonderful turnout of media who want to be credentialed. It's actually well over 5,000. So that's important because that they are the mechanism we can get our word about Minnesota to the international markets and to the rest of the country. So it's very important that they come and that we tell them about Minnesota while they're here. And I think we're set up to do that with many of our partners, the Convention and Visitors Bureau, the state of Minnesota. Everyone is showcasing what we do here in Minnesota, and they're looking for content. And so I'm very excited to have them. Down Nicollet Mall, you'll see ESPN, CNN, NBC, NFL Network. I mentioned again the Hallmark Network.
So really a media row type of location.
Out in at Mall of America is Radio Row, where you'll see many.
We'll be there.
You're going to be there. Good.
Yes,
good.
Absolutely. I'm talking with Maureen Bausch. You can too. Give us a ring, 651 or 866-989-9226, or text us, 81807. Are you a member of Crew 52? Where will you be? I'd love to know. This listener writes in, I am one of the Crew 52 and am looking forward to this experience. Bold North, triple exclamation points. So the energy is there. All right. Is there any
perfect example?
Perfect example. All right. Let's talk about some of the possible downside because, you know, you've got to do it as the big boss woman on this. You've got to keep all of your antenna up. What about the safety factors here? Because this is a lot of people in a not quite huge location.
Well, that's something we've been working on since the day the state won the bid. And it's led by the Minneapolis Police Department, but it is really a joint effort with police departments from all over the state, with Homeland Security, the FBI, NFL Security, and the list goes on. So they have been working on their plans for well over 3 years, and I am very impressed with the programs that they have set up. As you know, we're engaging the National Guard. You'll see a very high presence of security officers here. We have asked police officers to join us from all over the state. And security is always a top priority. You know, creating a safe event is goal number one.
And what will they be in kind of toned down? I mean, what's the visual? Because I know during the RNC in 2008, way back, sometimes law enforcement got some criticism because they were in kind of riot gear on some days, and some of them perched on their horses, those kinds of things. What will we actually see with the security forces?
Well, on Nicollet Mall, you will see vehicles, and you will see several officers. But when you go to the meetings and you listen to the training they're receiving, they know that the guest experience is number two. Security is number one, but to make sure the guests feel welcome. So how we ask them to move along, how we engage with them, how we treat people is absolutely front and center with this group.
All right, great to hear. We are going to take a break and then more with Maureen Bausch, CEO of the Minnesota Host Committee of Super Bowl 52. Here are the numbers if you have any questions or comments. 81807 is the text line, or call 651-989-9226 or 866-989-9226. Roshini Rajkumar back with you, along with Maureen Bausch, CEO of the Super Bowl Host Committee. 28 days away, folks, from Super Bowl 52. It is February 4th. We've been talking about it for years, and definitely in an intense time. Maureen and her team are working 7 days a week. They're definitely representing our state, our community well. Maureen, one of the aspects of Super Bowl 52, which I think is really neat, and I think a lot of people find this really great, is that there is a philanthropic angle here. And you've really been able to find organizations, find some nonprofits to boost. Can you tell people about that and the latest status?
Well, that was one of those ideas you talked about. Could it really happen 3 years ago? And 52 Weeks of Giving was something we created because we're Super Bowl 52. and we're a Minnesota Super Bowl. So we wanted to be able to include our entire state. And with the help of a wonderful board and the state, we were able to give, I think we're on week 48. And we'll give over $5 million by the time we're finished on February 4th. And to get up into areas like Grand Portage or Ely, or
you give us a snapshot of a type of organization.
It could be a park. In Grand Portage, it was a park that the city had been trying to raise money for many years. And we were able to come in. It was a very important park to the children. And we were able to come in and finish that park, give them enough to finish the park. So the kids felt like they were part of the Super Bowl. In Rochester, there was a trailer park, and 200 kids lived in this trailer park, but all they had was one rusted jungle gym to play on. And to be able to have Victor come with us, because the Vikings are very much a part of this program. And when the kids got off the bus, tell them they were getting a whole new playground in the trailer park. I mean, it's those kind of projects, and they came through the state SHIP program, and we were able to fund them. It has been really rewarding. So to get to all parts of the state, we've certainly tried. And now the last 4 will be in the metro area. Several have been. 75% are outstate, and 25% have been in the metro area.
Well, congrats on that, because that doesn't always get as much attention, but that's truly that lifelong legacy and the impact post-game for sure.
And
let's go ahead.
So the kids that have been part of these organizations are going to come down to Super Bowl experience during Super Bowl week. We gave each group some tickets, and we're going to have a kids tailgate for them.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
So they'll get to experience the Super Bowl, too.
And at the Kids Tailgate, celebrity chef Andrew Zimmer has put out a super snack challenge. Kids ages 8 to 14 were encouraged to submit healthy snack recipes for game day. From the entries, 52 winners will be selected to attend a kids' tailgate party where 3 winners will be chosen. Well, that's a
whole different program.
That's a whole different
program, and we've narrowed it down. We had applications from all over the state. They sent them in, and the celebrity judges, chefs, of course, narrowed it down, and those will be another group of kids that come to the kids' tailgate.
All right, let's talk about some of the fun leading up to. So you've got those 10 days leading up to the actual game, because not everyone can go to the game. Of course, it'd be fun if you can. This listener asks this: is there a chance at getting a spot for a group at a bar downtown during one of the evenings during the fest time, or are they already booked out contractually to NFL groups?
No, I think there's plenty of space in the bars and restaurants downtown Minneapolis. It just depends on what night. And what we're encouraging, if you can do it, Super Bowl Experience is a phenomenal event, and that is a ticketed event, and you can pick your time. So we suggest you build your day and evening around the Super Bowl Experience time. So go online right away and buy your tickets. We want every Minnesotan to be able to experience that when they want to experience it before our guests get to town.
And what are some of the events that will be part of the experience?
Super Bowl Experience is a theme park around football. It is fabulous. You can see the Lombardi Trophy. There are players walking around. There's photo ops. All the rings are there. There's interactive games, electronic games. There's a locker room, memorabilia. It's just very entertaining. And so buy your ticket, and then on preferably the first weekend, then you should have plenty of room in the bars and restaurants
to get a group in there.
And also check Super Bowl, MinnesotaSuperBowl.com, because our entertainment lineup is on that website, and you can look at what concerts we have that are free and plan your visit around that too.
All right, some other fun facts I got out of the AAA magazine, that the Super Bowl selection process, the NFL submits a list with more than 150 pages worth of demands for the host city. According to AAA, not all the demands were agreed to, but here are some of the more interesting. And you're the CEO, so I thought I wanted to bring this to you. Free access to 3 top golf courses in the months before the game. I don't even know if that applies.
Well, that was not in there, and they did not take advantage of it.
Free use of at least 20 billboards.
Well, there is marketing. There was a marketing component of the agreement, and it did include billboards. So that's pretty normal for an event. You want to make sure you promote it and the host committee is responsible for that.
Here's a biggie, 35,000 free parking spaces.
Well, I don't know about that number exactly, but there are a lot of suppliers and vendors that need to have access to the work that is being done. And so if they don't have parking, they can't bring in their equipment and their people and so on. So that is a very practical, normal request for a major event.
And here's one that kind of got a chuckle out of me. 2 top quality bowling venues for an NFL celebrity bowling event.
That is a fundraising event, and I think in the end they decided that they were looking at doing curling instead.
Oh, got it.
But then in the end there wasn't enough space at curling, so they're doing a dinner. But that was all for the fundraising event.
She's the woman with the answers, the CEO of the host committee. Was there anything in this whole process, now that we're 28 days away, you can share, Maureen, that really you're like, I can't believe this is happening? Do you have any of those kind of moments?
Well, of course you do.
Any you want to share with us?
I wouldn't be honest if I said no, but you know, it's all, we're able to work through everything. But you know, when you're planning a major event like this, there are always things that you have to work through, and hopefully the outcome is to everyone's liking. And so far, so good.
There are some people who are saying they're going to stay away. What do you say to them?
Well, you know, being at Mall of America for so many years, there are some people who like crowds and some people who don't. Thank goodness more people like them, or Mall of America wouldn't be as successful as they are. But I totally understand if they don't like to be around crowds. But this is a once-in-a-lifetime activity. So we hope people come down at least to see your favorite performer or to visit the experience or do one thing just to say they were part of it, especially if our Vikings are playing.
All right. Speaking of the Vikings, I have to ask, because various business owners I've talked with, especially in the restaurant industry, do not want the Vikings in. They want fresh blood, 2 other teams and their sets of fans. What's your take on that?
Oh, I think the Vikings fans would be so excited that they do just fine. And remember, Vikings have a huge fan base. It goes to North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa, Canada. And we've been talking to people from all those areas that just want to come and enjoy. We even invited Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Wow. You were really stretching it. That was probably one of your moments.
We said they could all come and we would welcome them.
Oh, my gosh. Well, Maureen Bausch, thank you so much for taking time out of your crazy 7-day-a-week, 24/7 schedule right now to come in and chat with WCCO listeners. Really appreciate it. Thanks, too, for your service. I mean, I know it's your job, but you're really doing a great job, and we appreciate it from the state of Minnesota. And you have fun, all right? We'll catch you out there in Radio Row and just having a blast.
You have to.
It's a big party, and you get to be the big host.